punk ass bitch who looks like he's from Hawaii 5-0 or some shit.
This guy? This guy was
guess
he looks
what,
retarded.
bitch? I didn't sign off on that shit, nigga.
They did.
I didn't sign off on that shit.
They did.
Where's your receipts that you paid?
You're dumb. You don't remember. You're fucking dumb, dude. You're fucking dumb and you don't remember, dude. What the fuck do you want me to do? Because you're fucking dumb. You leave receipts. You want me to? No, fuck you.
Retard.
No,
show the receipts.
Don't talk. This book that you wrote. Hey, read this. Read this. Read this, you dumbass. What is this book, huh? Huh? How's this gonna end up for you, you stupid bitch? Huh? Right here's the proof. Where's the proof? Where's the proof? Right here. I'm gonna read it out too. I'm gonna read out your stupid little book. Yeah, you're fucked. You're fucked. You're.
Oh man, boy, John just keep getting them and keep getting Cyraxx. Like he just continue on crushing Cyraxx like the insect that he is. It's funny, man, how I seen John crushing him, man. He crushing Cyraxx really good, and Cyraxx's best comeback was saying that he's got his IP and this and that. I mean, Cyraxx, you might as well should just pull the plug, man. You should have pulled the plug a long time ago. I don't understand why you think all that raging and yelling and all that yapping that you do towards him is going to change anything. It's not going to change nothing, man. You took another L again, bro. Cyraxx is just too ignorant to realize that he's been beaten over 100 times on the internet, and he think all this yapping and raging and talking all belligerent. He think doing all that is a win for him when it really ain't. It's not a win for you, bro. It just make everybody like me and other people just continue on laughing at you, bro. Laughing at you. You know, I seen this video 2 or 3 months ago. There was a video on YouTube of Cyraxx talking to the police, but this time they wasn't going to his house. There was actually a shooting in his neighborhood. I think this happened a few years ago. And there was like a shooting in the neighborhood that Cyraxx stay in, right? So I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyway, there was a shooting going on in the neighborhood, and Cyraxx came out. You saw how he was. He was jumping over the snow. He looked like he wanted to fall, trying to speak to the police officer, because the police officer, they had their little body cam on. But there was a shooting incident that went on in that neighborhood. And I saw the video, and I was just looking at Cyraxx, and I said, man, Cyraxx just looked really ridiculous. You know, he can't even walk across the snow without falling and everything like that. But anyway, the neighborhood that Cyraxx stays in, it looked like, now, you guys that's from Ohio, and you've been past Cyraxx's house. I checked out Cyraxx's neighborhood. The neighborhood looked like it's okay. It looked like a quiet, peaceful neighborhood. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? But my point is, what I'm trying to say is, the neighborhood that Cyraxx stay in, Cyraxx better be counting his blessings that he doesn't live in the hood anywhere. Because let me tell you something, Cyraxx. If you lived in the hood, stayed in the ghetto, talking shit on the internet like you are right now, bro, you would have done been gone. You would have done been gone, bro. Because I guarantee you, if Cyraxx lived in the hood and lived in a bad neighborhood, talking all that junk like you do on the internet, saying the N-word, calling John and Marty and all them racial names, and you live in the hood and you talking like that on the internet and they know who you are, bro, you would have done been got deleted, bro. They would have done been came up there and took you off the face of this planet, Cyraxx. That's the only reason why he's still alive. Because the neighborhood that he's staying in, like, again, y'all can say, oh, that neighborhood's ghetto. I mean, from what it looks like, it looked like a quiet neighborhood. It looked like a quiet neighborhood that he stays at. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, I'm not from that area, but it looked like a quiet area over there. Like, not too much really going on over there like that, though. But I can assure you, if Sally and Ed and Cyraxx and them was living in the hood, and you got somebody like Cyraxx bringing all that drama there, challenging people there, man, I'm telling you right now, man, Cyraxx's house would have got y'all would have got lit up. And let me tell you, if you was living in the hood, Cyraxx, you, Sally, and Ed, y'all would have done been moved out that area. Y'all would have done been gone. you would have been gone. Because it would have been over 30 bullets on Cyrax and them property. Somebody would have got hit by now. Because I guarantee you, if Cyrax lived in the hood, he wouldn't be talking like that. He wouldn't be talking like that. He wouldn't. Staying in the house wouldn't help because they would have shut up your crib. Like he really think that staying up in that house is really the safe thing for him to do. He really think he's safe by staying up in that house. One thing you gotta understand, Cyrax, is it doesn't. I mean, you might as well go out in public. Everybody knows where you live, so even if you do decide to go in the car, you get in the car with Sally or Ed, and y'all go to grocery shopping, and somehow somebody are following y'all, like, what is the difference, Cyrax? Everybody knows who you are all over the internet. They know where you live at, so I don't see why in the world are you afraid to go out though. But you know why? Because you are a murderer. You're a murderer, man. And you know something? John really ain't gotta say nothing. You know, John doesn't really have to say it or mention it though, but you know, John is accusing you of murdering Marty. He's accusing you of that. And you know what? He takes it very personal. Like, yeah, John might come on there, he might goof off, you know, he might goof and clown around on his live stream, but I can kind of tell that, you know, he really taking that to the heart. What you see on John's face is a mask that everybody sees. What you see on his face when he looks at Cyrax is really a mask. It's really a mask though, because I can assure you, I'm not going to sit here and say that John's a violent person. I'm not just saying this because of the color of his skin. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're white, black, Mexican, Chinese. It doesn't matter. I mean, a person can look harmless, but they can still try to be a violent person. You know what I'm saying? And I can kind of tell that, you know, John really wants to get his revenge on you, Cyrax. Like, he really wants blood from you. I can look at him and tell the way how he be looking at you, the way how he be kind of showing his gun to you. Like, he really want to do you in, Cyrax. He really wants to do you in. And if John got money like that, I'm just saying, I don't know how much money John got, but if John got money like that, yeah, he could pay somebody to put that bag on your head, Cyrax. And that's what you're scared of. That's what you're afraid of. Because all John got to do is put that bag on your head. He doesn't have to get on the internet and make an announcement and saying that I'm going to put 20 grand on Cyrax's head or 30 grand on his head if someone gets Cyrax. He doesn't have to make no announcement about that. But if he really wants to pay somebody on the internet to really have you gone off the face of this planet, he can do that. And that's the one thing that you do. Don't never go to war with someone that's got money. Because when you're broke and you're going at it with somebody that's got money, and again, I don't know if John's rich or not, but I'm just saying, if he does got money like that, Cyrax, you're not going to win. You're not going to win against a person. Don't never battle a person that's got money and you're broke. You don't even have two nickels to rub together. Otherwise, Cyrax, you wouldn't be getting on here seeking for help. I need help. I need help. I need help on the internet. Somebody to help me. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Now, would people help you, Cyrax? No, not really. Unless you got the money. If you got the money, you know, just like what Nino Brown said on New Jack City, you know, money talks. And you ain't got no money to pay off nobody, bro. You ain't got no money. You got lucky with Marty. You got lucky with him. You got really lucky with him if you had anything to do with it. But John is really saying that you really had something to do with it. You know, John's telling us that Marty wrote your name before he died. That it was you, Cyrax, that had something to do with it. And honestly, I would feel some type. Now, I don't know how close Marty and John was. I really don't know how close they was though. But it seems like they're close. It seemed like they was pretty close. And if they're really all that close, then yeah, John really feeling some type of way about that. Because he even said himself, the only reason why you ain't been arrested like that because you stayed cooped up in that house all the time, though. You stay hidden in that house. Because you know if you go out in public, man, you know somebody out there gonna bang you in, Cyrax. You know somebody gonna go walk up to you and steal you in the face. Yeah, that's what you're afraid of. You're afraid somebody's gonna walk up to you and they're gonna steal you in your face. And that's what, and I think that's one of Cyrax's worst fears. I guarantee you, Cyrax sit there and think to himself, like, man, what I got myself into? I can't even go outside. I can't even go to the grocery store. Over 100 people from the internet knows where I live at. I can't even walk to the store if I wanted to in peace without somebody pulling up on me if they're gonna do something to me or not. That's a really miserable life to live, man. You know, like I said one time before, man, I'd kill myself if I lived that same lifestyle like how you live in Cyrax. I honestly would kill myself. I would kill myself. Because ain't no normal human gonna be able to live a life like that, especially when you're a loser and you just ain't constantly got nothing going on for yourself. But yeah, man, I don't know what that book was all about when John was showing. I don't know if John just trolling you or just getting under your skin, but if that is your book, Cyrax, and you actually had something to do with Marty's death, somebody's got to pay for that. You know, if Marty last words was you, then that means Marty wants you gone. Because when someone sit there and they die and they write the person's name and it says Chance Wilkins had something to do with that, you're going to have to wear that, Cyrax. Because now things don't gotten personal. Because now that Marty's gone and you haven't been locked up in jail, it looks to me that John and all them, they're going to take the law in their own hands. They're really going to take the law in their own hands. You know, I don't think they're very violent people. I don't think John and William Glory and them are very violent people. But I really think that if they really want you off this face of this planet, they can do. They can put their money together. I mean, John and William Glory and all them, they can all have like a little private meeting. And they can sit there and put their money together and put a bag on your head, Cyrax, and have you gone if they really want you gone. Like, Cyrax have no idea who you going up against, bro. Because you don't know what that person can do. You don't know who John knows. John might know someone that can, pay someone off to have you taken off the face of this planet, Cyrax. And there's nothing you can do to prove to the police. There's nothing you can do to prove to the police. Because you don't make so many enemies around that neighborhood, bro. It's just the cops don't know where to start to go look because they see that you don't make so many enemies on the internet. They don't know where to start to go look for who. You don't make too many enemies, way too freaking enemies, man. I don't know, man. I think Marty wants you gone because anytime someone dies and they mention your name, saying you had something to do with that. Because, of course, Cyrax is not going to admit it, people. He's not going to own up to it and saying, yeah, I had something to do with Marty's death. He's not going to say that on camera because he know if he say that, he know that it's a confession and he know he'll go to jail for it. And that scares the crap out of Cyrax. So, of course, Cyrax is going to sit there and say he didn't have anything to do with it. Of course, he's going to say, oh, no, Marty did it to himself. I didn't tell Marty. Of course he's going to say that. Of course he's going to say it. Of course he's going to say it, though. But Cyrax just so stupid and dumb that he don't seem to understand that if these people really want you out that house, Cyrax, they'll just burn your whole place down, bro. If they really want you up out that house, they'll just burn your place down. And where y'all going to go? Where y'all going to go? Y'all going to be sleeping in y'all's cars or y'all going to have to go to a hotel? And again, staying in hotels eat your money up fast, especially when you're staying there 7 days a week. That's going to eat your money up pretty fast. And it's 3 people too. So y'all ain't going to have no privacy. I mean, because, yeah, Sally can get like a hotel room with 2 beds in there, but, still, she's not going to have a lot of privacy in there because she and Ed ain't going to have a lot of privacy in there. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to step outside the hallway or whatever so Sally can get dressed. So is that the kind of life you really want to live, Cyrax? It's crazy, man. It's crazy how far this feud has gone. You know, if Marty was to be brought back to life, his first mission is get Cyrax, get him, get him. This dude had something to do, but you know what, Cyrax? I think you did have something to do with Marty's death, because it's like every time when somebody gets into it with Cyrax, somebody always dying, someone always losing their life. You know, you all noticed that, right? And I'm not saying Cyrax got power like that though, but it's almost like, you know, people ends up dying though. Like William Glory seems like he's holding his own. I don't see nothing. I don't really see anything happening to William Glory. You know, William Glory is pretty much on his vacation. But Cyrax, on the other hand, well, use a handful. Use a handful. And I enjoy watching John's live stream. I like to get a good laugh. Sometimes I be wanting to get on there. I be wanting to get on there sometimes, but I said, nah, stay out of it, Jug. Stay out of it. This ain't got nothing to do with you. This beef is between John and Cyrax. You know what I'm saying? This beef between them. Stay out of it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just staying out of it. I'm just being a, how do you say, an audience that just sitting back and just laughing off this. Because I don't want to involve myself in nothing like this. It's none of my business. But it's crazy, people, how this whole feud escalates. But yes, Cyrax, I think you do need to be arrested. You need to be questioned about that, because if Cyrax had something to do with Marty's death, then somebody else got connection with that too. Somebody else got something to do with it too. If Cyrax got something to do with Marty's death. I mean, let's think about this, Cyrax. If you did have something to do with Marty's death, what was the point in that? What was the point of trying to get rid of him when the trolling stuff is still as strong as ever? Like, what? You thought that if you get rid of Marty, or if you thought Marty passed away, you thought everything was going to be over? No. If William Glory was to die tomorrow, the trolling stuff is still going to continue to happen. If John was to die or get locked up in prison, the trolling stuff is still going to keep happening. like what do you don't get? What do you don't understand, man? Because if those guys were to disappear tomorrow, somebody's going to take their spot and pick up where they left off at, just like how Marty did when Marty left. They're picking up where Marty left off at and continue to screw with you. They continue to make your life miserable on the internet, to continue to clown you. So it really doesn't make no difference, Cyrax. What are you going to have the police do? You're going to have the police lock up the entire troll community in jail? If that's what you want the cops to do, Cyrax, is put handcuffs on every freaking troll out there on the internet that make fun of you and clown you? Is that what you expect the police to do? I don't think so. They're not going to waste their time doing that. They're not going to waste their time investigating nothing like that. That's how naive he think he is. What do you think? A police officer right now from Ohio can make a 20-minute video and sit there and say, you guys need to leave Cyrax alone. If anybody out there continue on making fun of Cyrax on YouTube, if you guys keep screwing with him, we're going to come after you guys. If an Ohio police officer was to make a video like that, a real Ohio police, if they was to make a video like that on YouTube, no one's going to take that seriously. They're all going to laugh at that police officer, and it's just only going to encourage more people to screw with you. So it's not going to work, Cyrax. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're a joke to the Ohio police. They sit back and they're fully aware on what's going on. They're fully aware of it. They just sit back and just laugh at you. They're watching everything you saying and do. And you know what they say, Cyrax? Anything you say can be used against you in court. And Cyrax, you really been saying a lot of things that incriminate yourself like the idiot you are. He has said a lot of incriminating things over the years. that, and you know, Cyrax talking about saying that I'll get my lawyer, this and that. Cyrax, you ain't got two niggas to rub together to get you a lawyer. So if you was to take John and all of them to court, you're gonna lose, bro. You're gonna lose. Bro, these people got so much evidence to use against you in that courtroom. It's not even funny. Like, Cyrax ain't thinking straight. You don't think John and William Glory and all them, you don't think they're going to use all those videos over the years of you showing your penis on camera, you being racist, you admitting to be a PDF? You don't think they ain't going to use that against you in the courtroom, bro? If you want to take this to court with those guys? Like, bro, you ain't thinking straight. You the one going to lose. You're going to go down. An idiot, man. The dude's just an idiot. But anyway, that's all I want to say about this goblin, y'all. Peace.